Hello, class. My name is Brijan Durant, and today my speech will be about cheerleading and how it is and should be considered a sport. This is a very important topic because people really don't understand the dedication, tears, sweat, time, emotional, physical, and mental strength that it really takes to be considered a cheerleader and to be on a cheer team. Now, I can speak highly about cheerleading because I am a cheerleader and I have cheered in my past. I cheered in middle school, I cheered throughout my high school, I earned my varsity letter, and by my senior year in high school, I was made captain of the cheer team. And when I came to college, I still continued to cheer, but due to COVID right now, we're not really cheerleading. So I really think that cheerleading definitely should be considered a sport because of everything that cheerleaders go through and what I have gone through my own experience. Cheerleading should be considered a sport because we go through the same process that any other sports team goes through, whether it's football, basketball, swimming, volleyball, softball, or any other sport there is, we go through the same process. You have to go get a physical, which is what you take in order to be eligible to play. You have to get a physical. Go to the doctor, get your physical, just like everybody else. We get a uniform, just like everybody else. We have a responsibility, just like everybody else. We have practice, just like everybody else. You can get injured, not if not worse, just like everybody else. So there are various reasons why cheerleading definitely should be considered a sport. Now, some people say that cheerleaders are just there to entertain, look pretty, and motivate, which is very true because cheerleaders are supposed to be peppy. They're supposed to have a happy spirit so we can help the team that we're cheering for and entertain the crowd. So that's why when you walk in, you have to, if you're having a bad day or have any negative vibes, you have to drop it because being a cheerleader, you're the face of the school. You're representing your school, you're representing your team, so you have to be up there to the part. Now, cheerleading isn't just about entertaining the crowds and stuff. We actually do more than just that. um, People say that stunting is not a skill, which is very false because stunting is a is if not one of the most important things that cheerleaders have to do. For stunting, you have to have physical strength and you have to have communication. Now, my high school year, when I was a senior, I was made to be a flyer, which is the person that is in the air when you're doing a stunt. So you have your two bases, which are supposed to be your two strongest people. Um, they have to have all their strength in their arms because they are lifting your body. And while you're in the air, you have to be stiff, meaning you have to squeeze all of your muscle, which takes physical strength. Just like every other sport uses their physical strength. So bases sometimes it's really hard, and that's why you have to be focused and you have to train just like everybody else. You have to train because you can't learn to do a stunt overnight. It takes training and it takes dedication because you don't want the flyer to fall and injure themselves from falling from a high ground. So for the bases, you have people whose arms might be longer than others, or someone is shorter than the other person. So that's why you have to like sometimes you have to like squat down, and you have a back spotter, meaning if you fall, your back spotter is supposed to catch you. Now I failed throughout a stunt before it, but it wasn't as too bad where I needed to go to the hospital. But I have fallen from a stunt, and when you fall, you have to get right back up and continue to play and act like nothing happened, just like any other sport. Um, my junior year, I was a back spotter. I have never been a base, but I have been a back spotter, which is more likely to be like the taller person of the group. Tumbling, people say that tumbling is effortless. There are many people who have broken bones because of tumbling. Tumbling, which takes mental and physical strength, because your body, your your mind might tell you to go for it. Do a back over, a back handspring. Do any of that. But if your body isn't up to that, then it's going to fail. So saying that it's effortless is not true at all, because with tumbling you have to have a lot of strength. You have to know how to catch yourself. You have to know what type of speed you're going into, because most people, they run to do their flips or tumbling. Now the NCAA doesn't think that cheerleading should be considered a sport. The federal appeals court say that colleges shouldn't say that competitive cheerleading is considered a sport, which I disagree with. You have middle school cheer, you have high school cheer, you have college cheer, and then you have competitive cheerleading. Competitive cheerleading is a whole nother level, and that's the same way as football or a basketball game. You're going against another team. So with competitive cheerleading, you're going against multiple teams, because they do have worldwide competitions, and made lots of movies from cheerleading. So with competitive cheerleading, you're going against another cheer team, which involves a lot of stunting, it involves a lot of tumbling, it involves fitness. Your arms have to hit a type of way. You have to be loud. You have to project. Um, so for you to say that stunting and tumbling is effortless, that's definitely not true, because you have to have a lot of strength, and that's what a lot of cheerleaders have to do. They have to stunt, they have to tumble to even be considered on the sports team. You have to know how to do your splits. You have to know how to project your voice. You have to learn how to be a peppy cheerleader. So I definitely think that cheerleading should be considered a sport, because we go through the same process. We go against other people just like football or basketball teams. Um, and yeah, cheerleading should be considered a sport.